Welcome to another episode of Live Life Courageously. Today's theme is courage while parenting teens. Our guest today is Puerto Rican born girl, wife to the love of her life for more than 27 years, devoted mother of 8, a dedicated self published author, professional speaker, podcaster, and facilitator. From an early age, she has been passionately curious about human behavior and a human's potential to become the best version of themselves. Her own search for personal growth drove her to pursue this endeavor after she raised her children. She decided to go back to school, and with the support of her husband, what started as an academic pathway turned into a transformational journey. As she was training to master the art of life coaching and clinical hypnosis, she was able to begin her personal healing journey. Ever since, she has imparted the joy and fulfillment she experienced with hundreds of clients, resulting in empowered lives. She is tenaciously committed to work with courageous people who are willing to invest the time and effort it takes when they want to change. Her guidance enables them to find answers from within, to experience breakthroughs and life-altering results. She is also undeniable proof that transformation can happen when you are ready to claim it. I was drawn to having Lori on as a guest, because of the truth that she speaks into the lives of parents and teens. In America's current chaotic society, we need, now more than ever, professionals who are willing to stand for truth and encourage the family unit. Welcome, Lori.
Thank you so much, Jessica. It's a pleasure to be here.
Before we go on now, before we deep dive, can you tell us a little bit about who you are behind the bio?
Yeah, just this, like you said, Puerto Rican born, Caribbean flavor.
We love it.
Yes, young at heart. That's why I love the youth and women of faith, and that's who I am.
Love it. I love it. You called yourself, when we had our first meeting, you called yourself a family enthusiast.
Oh, yes.
Can you tell me more about
Yes.
that?
I believe in the power of the family unit to change or to impact society. If families are doing well in their four walls, it's what I call it, in our homes, because that's what makes a home, right? A house is a house with frames and walls and rooms, but a home is built or made with the people that live in it. Families can look very different, but if we are happy and we are doing our part within the walls of this structure or home or houses, we are going to build strong individuals and courageous and faithful individuals, believers. And then I think in return, we can have a better society, communities. So that's why I'm a family enthusiast, because growing up, that's all I wanted to be. When I grew up, I wouldn't say it out loud like that. I want to be a mom. But, they always want a career for an answer when people ask. But deep in my heart, I wanted to be a mom. And I was blessed with that. 8 children, and I was able to stay home. So, yes, I'm a family enthusiast.
Love it. I love it. Love that so much. There's the Family Research Council says that there's what that is. Tony Perkins at the Family Research Council, he says that there's self-government, there's family government, there's church government, and then there's civil government. And he says that the increase in civil government lately and the laws and everything has come about because the decrease in family government and self-government,
Love it.
you know?
I agree.
And I know that you wrote that book, Freedom from Self-Slavery. And I want to talk about how that ties into self-government and family government.
Love it. So it's funny because earlier in our conversation behind the, not in the camera, off camera, you asked me if I have written a book for the youth, and I haven't yet. But because I have been in life coaching, now it's my new mission to help parents and teens. But in this book, it's all about how my journey and sharing it with others on how to improve ourselves in that and being free from our own limiting beliefs and become our best advocates or allies. I have had many people tell me my head is the worst place for me to reside or live in. And we were talking about homes and houses, but our brains, right, is where we are at 24/7 with ourselves, listening to what our thoughts and the things we say that could be to our detriment or to our empowerment and courage. So, because we are prey of our thoughts that are a lot of the times very negative, whether self-inflicted or because of the voices we have in our head, whether that was an authority when we were growing up, a teacher, or our parenting styles where like, oh no, you need, whatever it is, we need to allow for those thoughts and those voices to leave our heads, our brains, our minds, and our souls even, and start something new. We need to unlearn the old patterns to establish or anchor in new patterns. And then that's what my 7-step method is. And it's about. And then as we as individuals become better and let go, release, remove, reframe, and it's my 7 R's method, we can become better individuals. And I don't have an R that is very important, is repair. When we repair, a lot of people, I have a friend that's like, I need to fix me. I need to fix me. And I'm like, I know an individual that didn't like the idea of being fixed, but she says, Lori, it's okay. There's been a lot of damage done with emotional abuse, with life circumstances, etc. And however you want to see it, there's something that is broken, we fix it. And I don't want to offend anyone if it doesn't resonate with you, but we need to repair some damage that has been thrown at us. And instead of staying there as a victim, we need to do all the changes we need to come out victorious. And instead of a victim, change our stories that we're telling ourselves to be victorious and for victory. And that's why I think that this book is more for individuals, for grown-ups. If a teenager wants to read it, I'm sure it's going to be absolutely fine. But we as parents, when we change old habits, old patterns, old paradigms or belief systems, I call them BS, belief systems that are not very good, we become better parents, better spouses, better companions to our spouses, and better parents to our children.
Yeah, and I feel like a lot of that wisdom from the R's, the 7 R's, you can apply that though as parenting a teenager,
Yeah.
because there's sometimes repair that you have to do with that relationship.
Yes. And I love you use the words that according to the studies, government, self-government. That's a beautiful way to put it. It's like self-control. It's like self-regulation even. We are used to being instead of having responses, we have reactions. And we are seeing this, Jessica, in everything, social media. And the thing is, we need to be cognizant. We need to realize that there's news out there, and now more than ever before, in matter of seconds, we see what's happening on the other side of the world. And then it spreads like wildfire as our opinions on the map. When we weren't even there, we don't even know how that world or that country works. We here in the United States, because that's where I live, that's where I have seen patterns and behaviors, we formulate a whole opinion and rhetoric, and we become experts on the matter all of a sudden. And of course, of things that happen right here. But if we weren't witnessing it, why do we feel so free to give an expert opinion on the matter with things that we can't have control over? And that's the thing, people are more dedicated to seeing all this news and having opinions on things that you have no control over. Because I am okay with being informed, knowing what's happening in the world, but having an opinion about it without me having been there or witnessing things or understanding the whole scenario, then let's focus on the things you have right under your nose, like they say, like your family, your relationships. Invest that energy in something productive and good instead of something that you have no control over.
Wow, that's really insightful. Can you tell me how you take that message to parents and teens? Because I know just working with teens myself, they always have an opinion on something. They're always sure they're right. They're never wrong. How do we give that courage to parents around this?
Okay, so let me see if I understand. So give courage to the parents to be able to govern at home.
To approach their teenage child who also has an opinion about something that might not be correct, that is more like an emotional knee jerk reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great question. So here we are. So if you've been one of these persons that are like, and then are always on social media and then texting and having these battles, and if you realize that hasn't given you the life you want with your loved ones right there in your four walls, like I say, just reboot, reset, and then own it. How does that look like? It looks like, guys, with your teenagers, because you asked specifically about teenagers, having a good moment around a dinner table, around in the living room area, saying something like, I've realized I've been doing something wrong. So when you own something and you say there's a new reset and I want to change this, and then expressing how you want to change that behavior, and I said, but I don't want to do it alone because we're creatures of habit and it's not going to change overnight. Can you remind me that if I'm on my phone and you want my attention, can you remind me like, Mom, can you put your phone down? Dad, can you put your phone down? Can you just not go golfing again for the fifth time this month? Because I want to do something together. And if dad's been playing too much golf or very delved into his hobbies, pardon me, hobbies or something, and you as a teenager watching or that's the cry, that's the plea our teenagers. I have 8 children. I still have a young adult here at home and a teenager. We have a code of conduct and communication, and he knows that he can come to me and be extremely honest because I'm trying to build that relationship and communication code with him, and it has to go two ways. And when he wants to tell me something honest, I need to apply everything I teach,
Yeah.
bite my tongue, and resist the urge to react, right? Like a chemical explosion. Take my time to respond instead. But that comes with listening because we were given 2 ears to listen and one mouth to talk. And we need to do more listening than talking many times. So owning up to understanding that you've been doing something that needs to change, sharing an apology if you feel like it. Some parents don't believe in apologizing to their children. That's on you, and I respect that. But then owning up to, hey, I've been doing something wrong. I want to change it. Would you all help me be accountable for that? And then start the conversation going and be there for your children because that's what we can give them. The best present for our children is to be present.
Hmm. I love that. It's really good.
I don't know if that was too long of an
No,
answer
it
to your
was
question.
it was great. It was great. So, how does your program work with parents and their teenagers? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Usually a parent finds out about my information. The parents are the one looking and they are the ones reaching out, and I invite them to go through the journey with their teenager. When they accept, when the teenager gets into wanting to be in the program, part of this, we work together. Depending on the situation, I work with the parent as an individual, with the teenager as an individual, but also together. Many programs help parents, many programs help the teenagers, and never get them together. To me, it's an ecosystem, and we need to understand each other and validate each other. And as a life coach, I help the individuals, okay, with their issues, with the things they need to improve on or want to change for accountability, and teaching and guiding them through some new concepts and principles. And then we get together. And I kind of like this mediator. And sometimes our emotions get in the way, and I kind of am like an interpreter. When the mom's hurt or the child is hurt, it's like I repeat, I say, hey, what I heard you say is that you feel rage or angry when. such and such and such. And then it's kind of like a buffer or a mediator in between them who helps interpret people's feelings so they can communicate better. And it's just so beautiful how the process works.
You mentioned the conduct for communication. What other tools do you use?
Other tools is just teaching how to be active listeners. Active
Mhm.
listening is very important and crucial. This code of conduct it involves a lot of things, a lot of steps. But the more proficient you become, and it's like when you're dancing, you're very cognizant and conscious about the steps, and then it becomes second nature. So it's the gear method. The gear method is like we ask each other like, "Are you ready? Because I have something to tell you." And when that happens, you need to know if you have the time for that conversation and if you have the disposition, the attitude to accept and receive that information that we're going to share with each other. Sometimes I ask my son, "Hey, I would like to have a conversation with you. Do you have your armor on? Your full gear on?" And he's like, "Okay." If each other we say, "No, I'm not ready right now," we must program it. "Hey, no, tomorrow during breakfast," or whatever it is. And we know it's urgent and it's important and that we need to make time for it. So active listening, that gear method on how to be able to have those bold, honest conversations when we're ready. And then also, I encourage parents and teenagers to go out and do something together outdoors, something different than their normal routine. That it gives them an opportunity to see each other in a different light in a different setting.
Right. Can you tell me what led to you to create the Wisdom in My Youth podcast?
It's very interesting because someone that I had as a guest said, "I wish you would have existed when I was growing up as a youth." He's an adult that wanted to come in and share some experiences of when he was young and he didn't have guidance and he was so lost. So, yeah, it's just, again, I feel like there's so many podcasts out there for adults. I haven't found a podcast for the youth. Honestly, if you know of something, let me know and share it with me and I will watch. But yeah, it's other than offered by youth from youth to youth, the YouTube channels on video gaming and things like that. I haven't seen a podcast that faith-based podcast because I love the scripture in Ephesians that talk about the full armor. I love about some scriptures that talk about learning wisdom in young years. I want to impart that again, with 8 kids, I've learned a lot in life lessons or what could have benefited my kids or what I wish somebody else would have done. And that's what I want to offer. A lot of conversations also with teenagers that feel like faith is important, but they feel like embarrassed to share with friends because of the peer pressure or bullying in a way because they're believers and they feel alone. So I really would like them to be able to stumble across my podcast and hear a voice of reason that supports their belief other than their ecclesiastical leaders or their parents. I really would like the youth to find this. I'm interviewing youth a lot now too that are getting into the program, meaning like I'm sharing this and I'm like, want to be in my podcast because it's for youth. So I really would like to interview youth doing great things, sharing their own journey right now as they're young.
What daily habits have you adopted into your life to help you as you were raising your children through their teenage years?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Waking up before everybody else, which is kind of like a challenge or hard because you're tired, right? When you're folding laundry, when you're finally wiping the counters in your kitchen very late at night. I make it a point to wake up earlier so I can have that good beginning or kickoff for the day, taking care of my mind, doing some meditation, working out, and reading scriptures. And that is definitely something that I like to do in the mornings. Weekly, I like to journal. And maybe quarterly, I like to write prayers for each of my children in a special notebook that I have that helps me.
Love that. Hello.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. I want to know one thing was about the show. What should it be?
All that they're secondary. Family is where the heart is, and of course, grounded in the rock of our salvation, which is Jesus Christ, and our Redeemer, and all those great values, moral values, and faith-based values like keeping the commandments, honoring your father and mother. Is very important for us to instill in our children. So, if that's what you can take away from this, is that message that there's no success that you can have if you don't have success at home. For dads out there thinking that providing is very important, for sure it is. And aside from that, just nurturing your children, being there for them is important. There's a story, it's kind of like a stoic and all philosophy story that says that this very industrious rich man asked a fisherman, this is the middle of the day and you're here with your family when you can be fishing and maybe even buy another boat so that you can have more and hire people so that then you can even open a cannery and packaging, and then you can retire and enjoy life after that. And he told him, no, I'm enjoying life right now with the people I care about the most. So like I said earlier, take care of your team at home, because if you don't cancel team meetings at work, why are you going to cancel having a meal with your most precious souls here on earth, the people that you should care more about? Families is where the heart should be.
You heard it here. Family's number one. I love it. Thank you, Lori, for sharing your testimony and time with us today on Live Life Courageously. I also thank you, dear listener, for tuning in. Knowing I know that there's a lot of podcasts to choose from, and I'm honored that you are listening to this one. I'm going to place Lori's contact information and her book link and everything in the show notes. And remember to follow us, like, and share. This really helps. We also love reviews. And join us next time as we speak with Ira Tabachnik, who will discuss courage through identity loss in perimenopause. Until next time, live life courageously.